Hello there. My name is Mark, the Canardian Jedi, and this is Holocron Chronicles, episode 87. I am joined, as always, by my trusty co-pilot, Charlie Carden. Charlie, how you doing today?
No. Oh, no, one of our co-hosts just went sideways. And now he's back again. Ooh, things are really getting crazy. No,
Sorry
I'm good.
that.
I'm good, man. We're in this crazy space of like ongoing Star Wars content. You know, we're actually picking up something
Amazing.
That's from a couple of weeks ago, but when we come back, we're going to record something on the day it comes out. So it's just like, there's just an absolute lot going on. It's wild. And
It's crazy because
we got a first glimpse of Skeleton Key today. Did you see this key art that was flying around? It was some merch art. Extra put it on. He put it on the Discord in the Star Wars channel, which everyone should.
So busy all day. I gotta check.
Everyone should absolutely be part of our Secret Friends Unite Discord because that is where a lot of the news happens.
Good
but
plug.
Take a peek. But anyway, we don't want to dig too deep into that because we got a lot of voices here. We want to make sure everybody gets a chance to get heard.
Yes, absolutely. If you're not watching the video and you're waiting for those voices, the first one I'm going to introduce, both are returning to the show. So this is great, but we've got the TheDripJedi, aka Moshe, in the house. How you doing?
What's good, John? Glad to be back. I'm always do these.
Love it. Love having you back. I'm excited to have you back. And the other voice you're going to be hearing tonight is a more recent guest, but also happy to have him back. That's JediMasterMalc. Malcolm, how you doing tonight?
I'm as well as I can be. I'm happy to be here.
Excellent. Good to have you.
Excellent. Glad to have you both. This is going to be a fun show. And because you're both returning guests, we can kind of skip the introductions. But one thing we can't skip is the thing that Charlie's going to talk about right meow.
Oh my gosh, that's right. We call it a little part that is paying the bills. We do have a absolutely fantastic Patreon that we've been doing for about a year and a half now, where we have the chance to present our programs without advertising and produce some great additional bonus content. Todd, who is our third partner, and I do a great show about comic books called Spinner Rack. I do a fun show called The Facts of Geek Life, where myself and a guest take a classic series and a season of that series and break down a number of episodes. And Mark, we are waiting for the return of Mark Patreon content. I know it's going to be worth the wait, whatever it ends up being. I'm very excited about it. But we also have a great new show where we do kind of one-to-one interviews with industry professionals and other interesting people. So at any rate, over at patreon.com/Secret Friends Unite, you get a free 7-day trial. Check out all those wares, get those ad-free programs. And then if you like what you hear, as I always say, to quote Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator, stick around. But these folks have been sticking around with us for a long time on our Friends with Benefits level. John Sidorf, the awesome Phoenix Sisters cosplay, Brendan Myers, Matthew Keel, and Corey in HD on our top tier level, which is the BFFs. Sean, Stella, and Henry Nias, the Nias family, the Twin Cities, and Missy Merchant. So we are very glad to have you on board. Hopefully you're also seeing our faces over on our YouTube channel, but if you are not, pop on over there to YouTube, Secret Friends Unite, and we will, you'll be able to see us in the flesh. So yes, come check us out on YouTube, and definitely leave us a 5-star review on your podcast catcher of choice. I always forget to mention that over on my show, but yeah, that's how, and tell a friend if you enjoy our program, because that's how we get more listeners. So yes, please do so. But anyway, all right, commercial bit is over.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all the people over on Patreon and anyone that listens to the show. Again, like Charlie said, if you can't, if you can't spare a buck or two or whatever, that is totally understandable and totally all right. Just share the show; it helps a whole lot. Whether it's YouTube or any podcast service, just tell a friend. It always helps. Or share some of the content that we do on Instagram. Join Discord. It's all good. All right, so. Because we've already done your introductions to Star Wars and all that kind of stuff, I just want to kind of catch up with you guys. Moshe, start with you. Anything new and exciting? What you've been working on?
I've been really into Naruto lately. You know, It's not Star Wars, of course, but I've been making those kind of videos. Yeah, I see Malcolm. He loved Naruto as well. I've been making videos on that. I got an Akatsuki cloak, which, if you know Naruto, that's one of the main affiliations in the show. And
Okay.
I've been making videos
That's good.
along with my Star Wars video. And I may or may not be start cosplaying soon.
Ooh.
Let's go.
That's
Like,
my
okay.
world. Yeah.
and I got a Jedi robe, and it's like putting your foot in the light end of the pool. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think
Yeah,
it was
That's how I
Bounty Saber,
started. Now I
Marley. She had put on her story that no one has cosplayed as Attack of the Clones Anakin, and I said, well, I have short hair and I can move like Anakin. Why not?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let's
Nice.
go.
Good deal.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Nice.
That's going to be good.
So yes,
Yeah.
mostly those, and then I'm doing some collabs still because it's still Star Wars month. I mean, Malcolm and Mark was in my last one.
Yeah.
Saber collab.
Yeah.
Most of my collabs are Saber stuff. So, I got some
Sweet.
stuff in the tracks.
Excellent. Always
Other
fun. Always
than
fun to jump
work.
in.
That's what I've been doing.
Excellent. Malcolm, what about yourself?
Well, since the last time I was on your podcast, Mark. I've been transferred to another restaurant to work at because they offered me more hours. I wasn't getting enough hours at my other job, so they transferred me over here. And I increased my cosplay collection to one. Because I got Anakin Skywalker cosplay, and so for right now I've been kind of slacking on my content because I've been working 40 hours at my job. So, and working in the kitchen takes a lot of you.
No, I know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear it. And it's funny. Like I've been working so much on my Mando armor that I was telling you guys before we started recording that like my content has been dropping off, but it's been all like working towards new stuff. So it's like a weird kind of thing, whether you're like working so much burnt out at a job, doing this, doing that, like it's hard to keep up with content because there's so many other things kind of pulling you into the other direction sometimes.
True.
It's a job in itself sometimes, right? So, so good to hear that, you're still
have the motivation
still
to
working
do it.
things, still doing stuff. And that too, you can get burned out real quick. That's good, man. That's good. It's good to catch up with both of you guys, and hopefully everyone's following you. But if not, we'll be able to. They'll tell them at the end of the show, and the links are going to be in the show notes and all that good stuff. So make sure you follow both of these guys. I'm pointing like I know where you're going to be, and I know where my
somewhere
is going to be
in the space.
There's somewhere. I'm going to get it right if I point everywhere. There we go. So that's it for the bit of news that we have this week. This is kind of a new one. Daisy Ridley wants John Boyega's Finn to return for her Star Wars movie. This is during a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter. Daisy was asked if she would like to see John Boyega be part of her new sequel. She said, absolutely, of course. It feels like we should. Yeah. So pretty definitive. But also we've had, so like great news that like the big star of the movie wants John Boyega back, wants Finn in the mix. The downside to this one, the thing that's making me taper my excitement is all of the stuff that John Boyega said. Like they gave all the nuance to Adam Driver, all the nuance to Daisy Ridley, and then inferring, none for Finn. Finn got sidelined pretty hard, all that kind of stuff, but he also recently said, those comments I made were from a few years ago. So they were subject of that particular project, that particular time. He's open to all characters and scripts that are enjoyable, have a great cast attached, and a terrific director. So yeah, I'm open to all opportunities is a pretty recent quote from John Boyega himself. I named my kid Finn. What more do you want me to say? I want this character in this movie.
Yeah.
I want as much Finn as I can get. Hinting at Force sensitivity in The Rise of Skywalker. I think there's a lot to explore in that movie. And if they're doing a Jedi Academy with Daisy and Finn is Force sensitive, like you're gonna cut him out of that? Come on, like unless they write it and it's like, hey, that's not what he was hinting at. He had a crush on Rey and decided he didn't after a while. I don't know, right? And he's written.
Is that like telling telling a girl you like you're a vegetarian? I'm vegan. I'm pescatarian. I have no idea.
So I can't picture this without him as we left things.
Yeah.
just because
Yeah,
of
exactly.
he wanted to tell her so much that he was force sensitive.
Right.
They were so close in the first in those last 3 movies. Like, to me, they either have to kill him off screen, which I will be so pissed about, or
Me too.
or have him in, or and I don't want to say recast, but like the character of Finn, I think should be integral to the story. And if John Boyega won't return, I don't know the answer. So I want to ask you guys, Moshe, what do you think the answer is here? First off, like, do you want the character to return, or
It
do you
depends
think this
really
should just
if
be a Daisy show?
he does want to do it, because like he went through a lot of backlash and the racist comments and all that stuff. So that's why we saw him say that he was not going to do it no more. But I think they could write around to it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta really watch the sequels again because I don't remember much of it. But it could work either way. But if he does come back, hey, that's good too.
Yep. Malcolm,
But really, it's
how
like
you
he
feel?
wants to, honestly.
Yeah.
There's no Ray movie without Finn. That's like trying to make a Avengers movie without Captain America or Iron Man. Like,
Right.
Which they're
but
going to do, unfortunately.
yeah,
But yeah.
but I understand if John Baker does not want to come back because, like Moshe said, he faced a lot of backlash and racism throughout this
Hmm.
franchise, and if he doesn't want to come back, I really can't blame him. But at the same time, if they kill him off, I'm going to be furious because
Yeah.
there aren't that many black characters in Star Wars in general,
Really
and for it to kill off a black character like that,
Off
I just
screen,
I just can't see
opening crawl.
yeah, I just can't see it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I would certainly say I'd like something to be done more with it. If his being there does something to the story besides, I mean, look how diminished Rose's character was in The Rise of
Oh,
Skywalker.
jeez,
They
I
just,
still remember that.
and it was it Backlash? Was it this? Was it that? So plugging somebody in when they don't contribute vitally to the plot of a story, no matter who they are, whatever whatever other qualifiers you want to look at, doesn't make any sense. If it's Rey's story and Rey and Poe are integral to that story because they're the 3 amigos like Han, Leia, and Luke, which is again for certainly for us OT fans, for us Gen Xers, never getting to see Han, Luke, and Leia have their last role of it. What was a major crime. So yeah, to bring this movie back and have it be just her doesn't really track. So I would think it would make sense for them all to be together again in some grand adventure, but not to pull the focus away from if this is really the Jedi story, that's the main part of it. But the two of them, contribute to the plot in a meaningful way. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I really like. I mean, we got Adam Driver's Ben redeemed at the last, and then became one with the Force. So like,
Yeah.
there's something there that I think it's way more interesting if Finn is a Jedi alongside Rey, and they're trying to make this school, but they also have two very different ideas of how the Jedi should be, how the Force should work.
right. Brave New World
If she's getting advice from both like Luke and Ben and whoever else, and he's like, I know you were redeemed, I know you turned back to the light, but like, I still hate you. You're to me, you are still Kylo Ren, you're not Ben, you're this jackass. And my girl over here is like still talking to you like from the other side, like I want to see that kind of like turmoil, right?
Yeah.
I want to see that kind of like headbutting. I think that's a lot of,
well, I mean, you have to
tension
have
can come from that.
tension and conflict to make the story interesting. Otherwise, it just becomes very run of the mill. And that's the one thing, especially with the very in the older fan community, the very divisive view of the sequel trilogy all over, is that they do need to really come together. A lot of people will go to say that the sequels were all over the place. They started one place, they took a hard left, then JJ took a hard right, and so it went around a circle. It was weird. So if this is going to be a single film, this is going to be a trilogy, which trilogies seem to be the kind of run of kind of the way things go. It has to be a cohesive story. Doesn't mean you all have one director, but you do have some kind of creative direction that makes it feel like it all belongs together. So yeah.
So
But again, I have very little dog in a fight because again, I'm a bigger OT fan, but I want to sit down and watch something on the big screen that is great and amazing and full scope, and that just really ends up being a powerful story. So that's where I'm at.
Moshe, you brought up a good point, and Malcolm, you agreed. There's not many black characters in Star Wars, or maybe Malcolm, did you one? I forget
Malcolm said that.
who said it. Anyway, Malcolm, you said it.
Malcolm,
Moshe, you agreed. Sorry, I swapped that. Either way, it's very true. So I'd love to get your opinion on if it's more important to have that character remain in Star Wars and possibly do a recast if John is like, absolutely not. You can back a dump truck full of money to my house. I'm saying no. Is it more important to keep that character in there and recast with another actor, talented, hopefully, whatever?
If they did it with someone else, yeah, you got the character, but with us, the audience, it wouldn't be the same because that's not John Boyega, so it wouldn't really stick. That makes sense. And
it's the same reason that they didn't end up casting, even though Rise of the Skywalker was supposed to be Leia was supposed to be the legacy character we focused on,
right?
And what we got
now we got to use someone else playing the same character,
right?
My thinking is it worked in Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like we got a different roadie. He walked in, he said, I'm here. It's me. Deal with it. That was their addressing that it's a character change. It's an actor swap, whatever, for Iron Man 2. Right, and then like Rhodey was such a good character. So like my holdout is, as much as I love John Boyega, is like, could we get another Rhodey situation? Could we get that like Don Cheadle kind of like, I don't want to say an upgrade from John Boyega, but at least someone that might be on the same level of like bringing something to this role. Again, I want it to be John Boyega. I want Finn in there, but I don't know if I would rather, like, if he's just hard no, hard out, I think I'd almost rather the character to stick around and someone else to take it and do it with passion than just, again, that opening crawl. Finn was killed on the way to Bosnian Prime or something. You know what I mean? Like just I don't want that stupid little thing. And like,
if that happens, I'm walking out of the theater.
Right.
But they already have your money at that point. You just won't go see it again.
Oh.
So
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
What's up, Malcolm?
Hey, okay, we got a little swap here. We got Zion jumping in from Moshe. Hey, while you're here, what are your thoughts on John Boyega, the character of Finn? Love him. Don't care if he's in the Rey movie. How you feel?
He was a great character, honestly. Finn was a great character. Honestly, I think it's like I was here, so I was hearing the whole conversation, obviously. But honestly, I think he should come back too. But if he doesn't want to, that's on him. I don't blame him either. Honestly, I don't blame him if he don't.
Would you rather write him out, or you want a recast? How you feeling on that one?
A recast would be kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, because it'd be someone else, but it wouldn't be him though. It wouldn't be the same, to be honest with you. It wouldn't be the same.
It's tough. It's tough when a character owns that role.
Killing off like that too.
Yeah, totally. Totes. Wow.
That's the tough part. That's the tough, and like you could do it with an older character, right? You can say, who's left.
Nobody's left.
I know. Lando. Lando's
the
only OT character left, right? Like, so I mean,
well, if you count R2D2 and C3PO.
Well, right. Sure, but
but like I'm thinking like a real actor that would need to be replaced, and you've got Gina's now in as Chewbacca.
Right.
It's Lando. Like the only character we'd care about is Lando,
and he's no spring chicken either. But
right.
Well, more to come on that, obviously, because this just dropped today. But Mark, go ahead.
He's back. I took your place.
Oh yeah.
I'm still here though, yeah.
Mom wanted something to eat. Had to heat her up some food. What's up?
No worries.
All right. Well, let's
jump into Tales.
Yeah. Let's jump on in, and we'll talk about this Tales. So Tales of the Empire anthology series. That we that we got a drop of on May the 4th. 2 stories split into 6 parts, 3 and 3. I will kind of blast through the quickie summary, and then we'll talk about them kind of in that fashion. Have a conversation.
I think
Yeah.
kind of like together. We'll blend it all together. I have a few questions ready to go. So yeah, give us a breakdown, John.
And I
Let's do
had
it.
some notes too. All right, well let me give this tab. So the first part is the Path of Fear. During the Clone Wars, General Grievous and Separatist droid army massacred the Night Sisters of Dathomir. Ouch! Except for Morgan Elsbeth, who we know, who is saved by the nearby Mountain Clan. Against the wishes of the clan's leader, the matron, Morgan and 3 young clan members attempt to recover the Night Sisters' weapons. They are attacked by droids, and the matron's daughter is killed. Not a big surprise there. The matron saves the others, but abandons Morgan. The end! Oof. Mark, you want me to just keep rolling, or what are you thinking?
Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, let's do arcs. All right, let's do the whole thing because we're going to talk about different arcs and what we liked and what we didn't.
All right.
Keep going.
All right. So we move on to the Path of Anger. So we jump forward a few years. We're now in the early years of the Empire. Morgan is a magistrate doing a boardroom sales pitch to a bunch of jackass Imperials. But anyway, she's the magistrate of the resource-rich planet Corvus, which we see her on later in her story. And she promises to bring jobs and prosperity to the local population. She has designed the TIE Defender, which does become a vehicle in Rebels. But her proposal to make it for the Empire is rejected. Admiral Thrawn takes interest through a proxy in the proposal and sends his assassin Rook to attack Morgan, which is kind of a weird strategy, but okay. After she holds her own, Thrawn accepts her project and offers his assistance. Kind of a weird job. I've had weird job interviews, but that one takes the cake. All right, and we wrap it up with the Path of Hate. So now we have jumped all the way into the Mandalorian time frame. We are just prior to the season 2 episode where we meet Morgan for the first time. After the fall of the Empire, former Corvus citizen Nadira returns as an ambassador of the New Republic. She demands that Morgan step down as magistrate due to her mistreatment of the locals. I found this the dumbest of the segments, by the way, and because it was just such a setup. Oh my gosh, she was an idiot. But anyway, and allowed Corvus to join the New Republic. Morgan, who has received a vision that she believes is the key to the future, no big surprise, declines, and then she kills Nadura and all of her people and burns the forest down for no particular reason. Before she dies, I'm sorry?
I said because of reasons.
Because of reasons, exactly. Before she dies, Nadura sends a distress signal to Bo-Katan. So we get a little guest voice by Katie Sackhoff, who I saw from a distance at a Comic-Con this past weekend. Didn't want to stand in line, but she's a real person. I swear to God, she was not a robot. Because she was one of the few people in Battlestar that did not end up being a Cylon. Sorry. Spoiler alert after 15 years. And that is the first arc.
Woo.
Arc.
Great.
All right.
Great arc. All right. Let's jump into arc 2 because I've got some questions that'll go with both.
Okay. All right. So we shift gears and we're going to be talking about Bear Sophie, but we are on the day of Order 66. And the Galactic Republic's reorganization into the Emperor. Former imprisoned Barriss Offee, serving a life sentence after turning to the Jedi Order in the Clone Wars. Great episode, saw it not that long ago. Is brought to the undercover Fortress Inquisitorius, which I call the Fortress Inquisitorius Aquariumarius. That's what I like to call it because it's an aquarium. To be trained by the Grand Inquisitor. After she kills a fellow recruit in a very Thunderdome-style duel, Barriss is welcomed as an Inquisitor and introduced to her new master, the Sith Lord Darth Vader, which I thought was the most pointless cameo of all time. Really kind of got under my skin. Didn't like it. Realization is Episode 5. Barriss and the fourth sister, who I have dubbed Evil Lynn, because her name is Lynn, who is another Inquisitor. I was trying to figure out if we met her before. But we can talk about that later. I know we met her in Kenobi, but I'm just trying to figure out if we met her in Clone Wars.
Yeah, because Zion had told me that. I'm like, oh, she is from Kenobi.
What?
That one in question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she absolutely was.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if we met her before. But anyway, so yes, she and Lynn are on a mission to find a missing Jedi. They question some villagers and learn the Jedi is on a nearby mountain. Barris becomes disillusioned with the Empire when the Fourth Sister murders the villager and cuts down the Jedi after Barris convinces them to surrender. Barris uses the Force to push Lynn off the mountain and then aids the wounded Jedi. Dun, dun, dun. And we take another jump forward, approximately 10 years, we think. Barris is now a healer and a teacher on a kind of crappy, Mark, forgive me, a very Canadian-looking kind of planet. Kind of looks like the Yukon Territories. I don't know. Oh, I caught that. I don't know. I caught that. All right, we'll say Alaska. We'll say Alaska just to split the difference.
There you go.
Better. She is visited by a family who are trying to protect their Force-sensitive child from Fourth Sister, who has followed them. Barris traps Fourth Sister in a maze, and the family is able to escape. And Barris is attempting to convince her to turn to the light side of the Force when Fourth Sister accidentally stabs Barris with a lightsaber, which, as we all know, is not a big deal. It's like stubbing your toe, as long as you are not Qui-Gon Jinn.
Or
Fourth
Han
Sister,
Solo.
yeah.
Or Han, yeah.
I was pretty sure that killed Han Solo. I don't know. Did Han Solo end up coming back?
No.
No,
I'm just saying everybody else who gets stabbed by a lightsaber who is not Qui-Gon Jinn is just fine.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I was trying to make a joke, but everybody knows humor is better when you have to explain it. Fourth Sister feels regret and chooses to carry Barris to safety. The end. Mark has burning questions, so I'm going to throw it over to him.
There we go. All right, so let's like as a whole, I guess. First off, like, how did you feel about this as like the follow-up to Tales of the Jedi? Did everyone like Tales of the Jedi, and how are you feeling about this one?
I love Tales of the Jedi.
I loved
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think I've watched it maybe twice recently. Remembering the Tales of the Jedi was from back in 2022. It was a while back, but yeah,
Wow.
absolutely liked it. And to jump ahead in your questions, Mark, without a doubt, it was the superior segment because this just didn't really feel like it connected to itself. And Morgan Elsbeth, I just don't feel like it's a character who's dead that. Okay, great. We got her backstory now, but it's a dead character. So now what?
Maybe.
Where Barris,
Night Sister Magic does some crazy shit.
Barris and Lynn could definitely be characters that we meet again.
Right.
So
I hope so.
My quick take.
Yeah, I hope so. Moshe, how are you feeling about like Tales of the Empire as a whole?
I loved it because, for one, I was expecting a season 2 of Tales of the Jedi. So when they dropped this and then said Tales of the Empire, I was like, hold up. The Empire. And then we saw Barris. So, that got me hyped. And then we watched it. And then we saw Barris's story from her POV. She's in prison. And I think in the last episode of one of those episodes, she had said, until a darkness took me over, which basically implies that she regrets what she did. So it's like, she's redeeming herself in a way. That hate for the people who didn't like her because of what she did to Ahsoka, it kind of fades away when you watch her story, because that's how it was with us.
Yeah, if I might, and then definitely back to Malcolm because I feel like I'm monopolizing. But something that I definitely snagged about Barris that was different from Lynn, Barris's eyes color never changed. She was never overtaken by the dark side. She was faking it. She was absolutely faking it. And one thing I didn't notice, and if I watch this ending again, I would be curious to see if the darkness left Lynn's eyes. I never knew. So anyway, I'm sorry, Malcolm, please.
I loved it. Like, I was happy we could see Barris return because I thought we would never see her again. Because I'm pretty sure the last time we saw her was during the Clone Wars, and I'm pretty sure that arc was 6 or maybe 7 years ago. The last time we saw Barris.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
It was because it was in the 6th season or 5th season.
I think
it
was
in the last season. So that's
it was far enough back that it was before the Clone Wars got canceled the first time. So remember, it ended with the 5th season. Netflix had the 6th season, and then Disney did the 7th season.
Right.
So I believe it happened in the 5th season. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm happy we're seeing her back. They get to tie up loose ends around her character. And like Moshe said, I'm happy that she's finally seeing that that both sides were corrupt in their own way. The Jedi and the Empire, and she just went about it the wrong way. And truth be told, I hated Barris because what she did to Ahsoka, because Ahsoka is a fan favorite of people's character. But to see her realize what she's done was wrong, and she referred to her as an old friend at the last episode. Okay, that's it. Barris is one of my favorite characters.
Right, right. Well, clearly there's a lot that happened in that 10 years. And I had to look up, watching that last segment is like, why does Barris look so rough? And some of the things that I might have read on Reddit or I seen in other sources is that the force healing power, when you heal someone, you are doing a life transfer, that certainly could take its toll on Barris's own life energy. So it's why she looks 20 years older or 30 years older. Yeah.
Yeah. Zion, you're here. You have similar kind of thoughts. How'd you like this?
Okay. So this is my take on this, to be honest with you. Okay. So I'm glad. I'm honestly glad that Barris feels like regret of what she did, because who knows, in a season 2 of Ahsoka, if she's still alive, we could maybe see her.
That's true.
We could possibly see her.
Right.
Because we never know. Because she got. I mean, it's like you said. Everyone except Qui-Gon has survived.
Right.
So she might have survived. Right. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I do feel like they were kind of dancing on the line of that one, that they didn't really want to lock it up. Yeah.
Kill her off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
So because she was in Kenobi. Oh, it's fine. It was because she was in Kenobi. The other sister, she was in Kenobi.
Lynn. Yeah.
She could be somewhere. You never know.
Yeah, we don't necessarily know if this was before or after Kenobi, but it felt like it was around the same time. And Lynn's character was very background in Kenobi, so she wasn't really a thrust of the story. She was in a handful of scenes, much like the guy who was Han in Fast and Furious, who was the brother character, was in a handful of scenes. But I feel like Lynn didn't really have anything to do, and we learn more about her character here. So anyway, they've definitely teed it up. And again, I just feel like the stuff with Morgan kind of felt wasted, where the stuff
what I was just going to say. Like, so far we've got 4 people, and I'd say the same thing. The Barris office was incredible. Like, Malcolm, you just said, like, instantly became like an instant favorite character, like one of the best Jedi kind of thing. Yes. 100%. How the hell do you do 3 mini episodes on someone and make them one of the best Jedi that we've seen?
Right.
Like that fight scene when she's like, I'm not igniting the lightsaber, and she's just like ducking and dodging and just like
exactly what the Inquisitor did with her in part 2.
So much better. Just she is just on that other level of like, we don't see many Jedi hit that level.
Yeah.
We don't see many Jedi face like, a Sith or dark force user or whatever you want to call it, dark side user that remains that calm and lives by that tenet of like, the lightsaber is not to attack, it's to defend. Like that Jedi, like she instantly redeemed herself as like one of the top Jedi. But so like, this is 5 people right now talking about Barris, and like poor Morgan is like, sorry, Night Sister.
More focused on Barris,
to be honest.
The only reason I watched Morgan was, for one, it was the first arc, and then when I saw her bow staff skills.
When I saw Morgan, I was like, wait a minute, Morgan. Wasn't she from Mandalorian? I'm like, wait, this is that same planet. This is that same place she was from. When they were fighting.
The same.
I was
to look at it, it just, where Barris' story had a great beginning, middle, and end. Morgan's story, just the parts of it, it's like they tried to cram connectivity in the end of it for her to say, my world has always been burning. And okay, fine, that takes you back to the first part or whatever it is. But it just, none of the bits, it was like, and here's Thrawn, and here's Pelion, who you saw on the Secret Council, and Mando. And it's like, it was very Easter egg heavy. and it just didn't
Yeah.
feel like it went anywhere.
Even
Yeah.
bringing
Like-
what's his face back? Rook.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was
Um,
that was from Rebels, exactly.
And
So
it's,
it just felt like, hey,
Warwick Davis always
that guy,
welcome
this
in
guy.
Star Wars, like
Yeah.
Wicket the Ewok. Like, yeah, bring him back, but like it's such a weird little cameo and it felt very like, and now it's this character that we
Right.
haven't seen in
I
a
mean,
while. That we
General
can use.
Grievous had the best appearance in Morgan's arc by far.
Right.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
but yeah,
First
it just, as
trailer-
I said, kind of the lack of connectivity.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Yeah,
How do you survive that?
Yeah, and I love seeing Night Sister stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I found it was a little like, I don't know, and maybe it was because Barris's was so good, but like I found this one being a little bit more forgettable or something.
yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Especially as you said, when you hold it up side by side with Tales, where you had some very impactful character moments about characters that you really cared about. You've got. In that one, you got Dooku's backstory. You got our partner Todd, who is obsessed with Yaddle. There was a whole story about Yaddle, and at the end of it, you do get a piece that mirrors the very, very popular and well-renowned. Our guest last week was very fond of that Ahsoka novel, and that really kind of danced around this, and still managed to touch upon the Inquisitors, because we saw an Inquisitor in this story, the tall guy with the mask and the big podlin with the Imperial logo on it. The big plague mask that he was killed by Ahsoka.
Without a lightsaber.
Call him the Bird Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Yes, the bird.
Yeah, the bird, the famous Birdman, Harvey Birdman, the Inquisitor. It just doesn't really stack. But yes, Malcolm, I'm sorry, we're doing a lot of rapid fire here, and want to hear from everybody. So please,
it's fine. Like, if they do season 3 of Tales, I have an idea. I think everybody wants to see. I want to see Tales of the Bounty Hunters.
Ooh,
okay. That that's
there
perfect.
we
I was
go.
going to ask this as my next question, or as a question a little bit down. But let's just jump into it now.
I mean,
what's the next Tales? What do you want to see next? You can't pick the same one. You can't pick Jedi season 2. Sorry, I'm making that weird little rule right now. And you have to pick something that someone else didn't say. So, Malcolm, you're grabbing Bounty Hunters.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw another wrench into this. 2 characters that you'd like to see arcs, because it seems like they're doing 2 character arcs. We got Barriss, Morgan, and Ahsoka and Dooku for the Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah.
2 characters that you need to see for Bounty Hunters.
I want to see Dengar. I want to see Bosk.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Good choices. Well-known names, but very tangential, canonical, but really from disparate sources. So it's bringing something into a filmed visual medium. So very good. I like that.
I like it. Moshe, Zion, either of you guys want to jump in with this one?
Boss was good. I remember Boss. He was the Trandoshan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget the first one though. But that would be interesting.
Dengar, he's the mummy. He's the guy with the rap.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was in Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
As a cameo.
Yeah, he was.
Yep.
Okay.
They were all cameos in the Empire Strikes Back, almost including Boba Fett.
No disintegration.
No disintegration.
Yeah, exactly.
Moshe, what would you like to see a different group have their own series? Like, what was the next one for you? Like Tales of the...
I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
What was it?
That was the Sith.
Yeah, loophole.
The Sith. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, we have to.
Like a story, you need 2 characters, right? So I'd probably say Darth Maul. What was his training like?
Hell yeah.
His mother tells him, right? So, what was his upbringing like, and what was it like? Because I read it like on online, but to visualize it, what was it like? Him Palpatine takes him and trains him, and he fills him with hate or whatever. What does that look like? As far as the second character, I haven't really thought of that one yet.
What about Sidious's training? With Pelagus.
Ooh. Just straight up go for the big guns.
That's a good one.
That is one of the biggest legends, without a doubt.
Because it's a novel, I know that. But to see it on screen,
everyone talk about the tragedy of Dark Plagueis the Wise. Like, what does he look like? Let me see what he. You know what I'm saying? Actual episode.
Yeah,
that's the best one.
And we've seen these with Ahsoka's. We've seen them adapt things from the novels before, so that's not off limits.
Yeah.
So 100%
Yeah, they have
that could work.
Yeah.
because of Ventress appearing in Bad Batch, right? And she was in the novel.
Right.
Yeah. Charlie, Tales of the...
I'm dancing around a concept, which I'm sure won't be a surprise to you. But I'm struggling with characters. I'm thinking, Tales of the Rebellion, which of course
Ooh.
has been done in comics. But both Mark and I tend to lean really heavily towards the pilots, the X-wing. So give me maybe Wedge, and then give me maybe Dodana, who is the main dude who ran the rebellion with Mon Mothma, or Akbar potentially. But yeah,
Oh,
like
that's a
somebody
good
who
one.
Akbar. You know what? I'm going to go Akbar and then Wedge. That's what I'm going to go with. Even though Wedge would be a little iffy because both knock Wedge because we got a little bit of him in Rebels. I'll go with Biggs, who is Luke's best friend.
Okay.
From childhood. So yeah, give me Akbar and Wedge, or Biggs.
Biggs.
There we
Okay.
go. Those are my choices.
I like it.
Now, would you like to see Jyn Erso in a Tales of the Rebellion?
No, I think they sewed her up pretty tightly.
Okay.
Or you could have, Saw Gerrera would also be a great choice. But again, a lot of his story's been done.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean? So because I think the opportunity is to really dig into someone that doesn't have much of an explored base.
No,
Oh.
someone with who we know nothing about backstory.
Yeah.
Correct.
Or-
Yes, exactly.
Or
Exactly.
one-
Yeah, because otherwise it's too easy. You'd be like, "Oh, I'm really piggybacking." Like it's like here's this same scene, but it's shot from camera 2 instead of camera 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going with something totally different. So yeah, totally.
Now, real quick,
Jokes.
before I saw Tales of Jedi, Dooku and Ahsoka's backstory. Now, this may be a hot take. Now, this before I saw Tales of Jedi, I was disappointed they were doing Ahsoka because we know a lot about Ahsoka. She's appeared in the Clone Wars. She appears in Rebels, The Mandalorian. So I was hoping they would pick a Jedi we barely know anything about. Kit Fisto, Aayla Secura, Cypher Diaz, Mace
Sure.
Windu.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
but
right.
I'm
Those are
happy,
gonna
I'm
be-
happy we got Dooku. I'm happy we got Count Dooku because we don't know much about him besides him being Qui-Gon's master.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
And
you know
even,
what I'm trying to say?
like I read the Dooku novel, and even if you read that, you didn't get the same stuff. This just added to it because you see that
Right.
whole rise and fall, and you see what he dealt with his family and stuff back on Sereno, and that slowly chipping away at the light side straight up to this where he's actually corrupted.
Yeah.
This stuff just added to what you saw in the movies, what you saw in the shows, what you read in the book, and then seeing this, like,
Right.
fleshing a character out like that. But you didn't even have to read the book to really see this come through. So, like,
Right.
I love that when they can really flesh out a character, no matter if you've read every single scrap of this character or if you've only seen like the brief appearances, cameos, or like whatever episodes they've been in. So for mine, I'm going to go, I think I'm going to say Tales of the Pirates.
Ooh.
And my two characters, one of those characters is a bit of an unknown at this point, but I think it's going to fit in. So the first one, obviously, we got to see Hondo Ohnaka in there.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
second one is I'm throwing out, what's his name from Skeleton Crew, the main Jude Law from
Jude Law.
Skeleton Crew.
Oh.
Seems to be a bit of a pirate-like character. Seems to be like former Jedi turned pirate turned doing something to rescue these kids. But he seems like he's going to be involved in some piratey kind of shit. And I'm thinking that's like a good way to like flesh out more of his
when you
character
say
from what we've seen.
pirate, are you thinking more pirate? More people might call that a smuggler or a scoundrel, like Lando.
We could
or
do
Han.
that, yeah.
Okay.
Tales of the
Yeah, because
smugglers,
when you
you
say pirate, my fear is that it's less accessible to the Star Wars, because people don't say, well, there's a big pirate culture in Star Wars, but they might think of the smuggler and they might think of the Han Solo or the cartels, the Jabbas and that kind of stuff.
Even call it Tales of the Outer Rim and have one focus on like Hondo doing some shady running and then this character from Skeleton Crew. Because I already think this is going to be an interesting character that has a rich backstory that we're going to get glimpses of in that show. And we haven't seen a single freaking frame of that show, so I could be very wrong. but
Right.
I have a feeling like it's going to be one of those characters that you instantly want to know more of, and we're not going to see it. So,
Well, the shit
I got another
yeah.
one,
all
All right.
if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Not
no,
at
go
all.
ahead.
How about Tales of the Droids? Now these
Mm.
two,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go BD1. Like, what was he doing before he met Cal Kestis?
Ooh.
Yep.
And I got another one. Now this may be controversial, but I want to see L3 again. Lando's
Ooh,
droid.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Because
definitely.
we've seen of R2, we've seen of C3PO, Chopper. I mean,
Yeah.
we might see K2SO and Andor season 2. So I'm thinking L3 because we literally saw her in one film, which is Solo, and she was destroyed
Right.
half the movie.
Right. Right. Yeah, and there is of course lingering talk of Lando being a series. So
And
we
we,
shall see.
you know what else too?
Yeah.
We can see when Anakin found the parts for 3PO.
Oh sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
They do.
yeah, that may be covered somewhere, but if it's not, it could be.
That is
Yeah.
true. But still
Good.
further.
Yeah.
It's like from a different point of view kind of thing. We could see Dio, who was alongside when Rey's parents got killed,
Oh,
and
right.
really abused by his owner. And his name's escaping me, but like it'd be kind of interesting to see that character, a Sith assassin who's going after Rey's parents, but like from the abused droids kind of perspective. I think that'd be
Yeah.
kind of interesting. So Tales of the Droids, Malcolm, fantastic choice.
Nice.
We already answered, do you prefer this or Tails? We already answered which arc is our favorite, I think. So I have basically just like one question left for this group panel. Where does this rank? And I'll say, where does Tales rank, as in Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the
So kind of
Empire?
your short stories, your novellas, as it were.
Yeah. Where does this rank in your Star Wars animated stuff? Like
Oof.
where do you put this?
Now,
It's a tough one.
this may be controversial. I'm putting on
yeah.
number 4.
Okay. What's
out
3, 2, 1?
of how many? Do we have 5?
We got Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, Tales, Resistance. I've never seen it. Don't plan to.
And don't forget about that one for the kids, which I
Yeah.
thought was cute. What is that one
Nope.
called? Mark? No?
Young
I
Jedi
love
Adventures.
Young Jedi Adventures.
It's
Hey.
canon.
Oh.
Nubs is
Different
fantastic. And again, D.
Facts.
Bradley Baker. Yeah, Nubs, great character.
Right.
All right, decent ranking. I mean, it's hard to top those top 3 choices. So
Yeah.
like Moshe, Zion, where you guys putting Tails?
I'm gonna Malcolm. It's for me. It's Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, and probably Tales of the Jedi, and then Tales of the Empire, since it's so recent.
Right.
And
Okay.
he said I haven't watched Resistance either, so I don't know about
Yeah.
that one.
I have to agree with that one. Probably Clone Wars. Let me think. Clone Wars, Rebels, the Tales of Jedi, Tales of the Empire. And like y'all said, I haven't seen Resistance either, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly.
I think one way or the other, I would probably put it somewhere in the middle. Having some mix of Clone Wars, Rebels, and Bad Batch being that top tier, and then the kind of the kiddie stuff being
That makes
below
good
it.
video.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So
Take it. It's yours.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Animated.
gotta agree. Yeah. I gotta agree. Like it is so good. And I think if they keep going with this, and I really hope they do, because we came up with some great ideas just here in like 5-minute run. Like you got to think that they have more than that planned, or at least thought of.
Yeah.
But like I would sit down and watch any single one of these ideas that we came up with and absolutely love them. And the more we see, I think the more diverse this show could be. I could see it kind of moving up my rankings. I don't know where it would land, because it's hard to top Clone Wars, Rebels, and Bad Batch. But like I could see it maybe even topping Bad Batch and being in like my number 3 spot if they keep going with it, and they keep going with really interesting, diverse storylines and characters and stuff. Like
Good point.
It has the potential to really have like, you get 6 good seasons that each cover a different thing, whether it's something we talked about or something, different that we haven't. I really think it could be interesting. So
Yeah. Cool.
Mm.
All right.
Any last little minute things, like something that like stood out to you with this Tales of the Empire that you haven't had a chance to talk about yet, that you just like?
I like how in the first few episodes the titles was a reference to Yoda's quote about the dark side. So it's the fear leads to anger, leads to hate leads to, and so on. And I'm like, isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
When he was watching, he was reading. I'm like, that looked familiar.
The thing he was missing was suffering.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great, but I also thought, like, should they have left this for Tales of the Sith?
That would have been good.
That'd have been a good title.
You know?
That's a good episode.
We shall see.
I loved it.
No.
And I did have that thought because I was like, I want to see Tales of the Sith. I hope this isn't the only dark side-ish kind of thing, because they're not really going full Sith. So I did love those the quotes there. And I was kind of sad that they didn't keep going on it with the Barris stuff, but I understood like the separation.
All right. All right.
Now,
anything else anyone wants to add? No?
One thing before we go. Now, Charlie, I'm pretty sure you mentioned this already, but as much as I love Vader, Anakin, I really didn't like his cameo appearance in one of the episodes.
Yeah,
they just threw him in there.
Yeah, and it reminded me of all of the stuff that I didn't like. Thank you for bringing that up. Remind me about all the stuff I didn't like about Morgan's segment. And it was like, look, there's Vader. Look, there's Thrawn. Look, there's this dude from Rebels that maybe you've heard of. It was like, do things to service the story. Fan service makes the fans happy, but make it matter. Don't make it be nothing. And Malcolm, very good point. That really meant nothing. It was just like, oh boy, there's Vader. So what? We know that anybody who understands the Inquisitors knows that Vader is the top dude for them, So good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. I think that takes us home. Yeah.
I think so.
All right.
We'll start again with Moshe. Please tell people where they can find you and follow your stuff on the internet.
I'm the Drip Jedi on all platforms. Can't miss it. I keep my username the same, so it's easy to find me.
Excellent. We'll look for. I can't wait for the cosplay stuff, man.
Good for you. Welcome to the world. Yeah, good deal.
And Instagram and TikTok.
We need more black cosplayers.
Oh yeah.
I might do that too, to be honest, cosplaying, but I don't know who though, honestly.
Yeah. You know what? When it's right, you'll find it. Malcolm, where do we find you out there, bud?
You can find me, JediMasterMalc on all my platforms. Also, like Moshe says, the name's not changing. It's stuck.
Yeah. Excellent.
It's so funny that you should bring that up, because I told you and Todd about this yesterday. My wife said, all you have to do is change your name. It doesn't have to be like what carried over from Facebook or whatever, because I have a different Facebook name because my account got hacked and my wife had to make an account for me that doesn't have my full name. So now on Instagram and on Threads, I am what I always destined to be, the C3. Spell it out. That's where you find me on those threads. But the threads in the Instagram, but the real big place to find me and to find Mark and all of your Secret Friends Unite podcasters is over on our Secret Friends Unite Discord. That's where all the fun combos are happening. So check us out over there. Mark.
Zion, before I give my credentials, I want to touch on something that you just said, and that is I don't know what character I'm going to be. That's a big thing for me. And I got into like starting to do like cosplays and this and that, whatever. I still haven't done like a screen accurate like character kind of thing.
Obi-Wan, come on. You have the hair and the beard. What are you talking about?
It's right there. And technically I was in Obi-Wan in the Balance of the Forces video that I
remember that video. Yeah,
me too. It's good.
That was a fun video, but like it was, at that point I didn't even have like a white Jedi tunic. Like that was like literally
unbelievable.
Like, linen beach shirt that I kind of like folded up and like put my robe.
It was maybe it was Beach Obi-Wan from the Lego Summer Vacation. Yeah. Why not?
So,
I like it.
My point to this: make up your own character. Toss some Jedi robes on and make up something.
Because I got my robe. Yeah, it's a normal Jedi robe plus my sneakers, so I'm literally the Drip Jedi. But it's like I'm slowly easing my way into cosplaying, so I'm not there yet. I'm coming.
I kind of have like outfit. If you guys seen one of my videos, it was I forget which one it was, but I have like on the reflector suit, and I have like on this reflector suit, and I'm spinning my saber, and I said if I was in Star Wars, this would be my outfit. Like the poncho and most traditional Jedi robes is like just robes. But that would be my. Like, I reflect. I don't even need a lightsaber. I just be like walking. But then I can like turn.
You're your own lightsaber.
I can have a button. I can turn it off. Be like, you know what I'm saying?
There you
Like,
go.
Fantastic.
hold
There
on.
you go.
I love it. I
Yep.
love it. I want to see that OC.
All right. All right, Mark.
I'm
Take us home.
just about finished my Mando OC. Everyone's going to see it, I think, this week. I also got a new tattoo. I got a Mando and Grogu tattoo for
Very
May
nice.
5th.
Looks good.
Forgot to show that off last time. Okay, so you can find me everywhere as the Canardian _Jedi. That's Instagram and TikTok mostly. And as Charlie said, always hanging out over on our Discord. Moshe, Zion, Malcolm, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Always.
This was amazing. I love
having
the
you.
ideas we talked about.
Oh, and
Thanks
you
for
can
coming
find
back.
me as King B.
I was just
Very
going
nice.
to say,
Oh, yeah.
Zion, drop your stuff before. So the King Bee, there we go. Everyone's links are going to be down. If you missed any of those, click on the show notes. You'll be able to find everyone. Thank you guys so much again.
He's in a lot of my videos.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of his videos, so just find me right there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, as always, thank you for joining us. I'm going to tell you that sharing is caring. Keep on trucking.
May the force be with you. Rex,
Thank you.
Yes, up.